And you gotta take the middle one, the just right one. But Rahl doesn't believe him. When Richard tells him that is the right one, Rahl just freaks out and says, no, that's the one that's gonna kill me. I learned that already. I told you that. And Richard is resolute in the fact that, no, I'm telling you the truth. I can't tell you anything else. Doesn't matter how pissed off you get.
Right. So Darken's not fucking happy because he just got information that he's sure he's wrong, and he orders Kaylin killed. He tells Michael to just cut her throat, unless Richard tells him the truth right now.
Right now!
Yeah, whiny. But at this point, Richard, he's crying, and he is desperate because, no, I'm telling you every word true. You have to believe me. I'm confessed. I can't lie to you right now.
Yeah. Please don't hurt her.
Now, what else is going on in the other side of the room is Zed is taking in all of this information. Now, Zed knows that it's common for there to be two sets of info on stuff like this. You always rely on the instruction book for that specific magic. But sometimes there's like decoy books out there that protect the magic. Somebody finds a fake and they're not smart enough to tell that that's not the right one, then they shouldn't be using it. And it kind of renders that magic undoable.
Right. Well, it creates a safeguard that anybody who doesn't have the actual instruction book isn't going to be able to use the magic. So even if somebody were to have read the book and then shared the information somehow, if you're not getting the information directly from the book, if you're getting it third party, then you probably won't be able to open up the boxes.
Right. Or at the very best, you're going to take a guess on which one.
Yeah. But Zed is hoping that Darken isn't going to take all this into account and that he's going to disregard what Richard says because he hopefully will believe what he knows and then not open the second box because that'll be like really crappy for all of us. But Darken smiles and tells Richard, I just had to be sure.
I was just fucking with you, buddy.
Fucking with you.
Man, calm down.
Super glad you were telling the truth because that would have really sucked.
Yeah. And that is when he does it. He opens the middle box, the one with two shadows, one for him and one for the world. And light comes out of it, and it settles around him, and he's lifted into the air, and he's floated to the center of the sorcerer's sand, and the light is swirling around him.
And there's sparkles, and it is so awesome!
And it's the coolest fucking thing you have ever seen in your life. And Darken looks at Richard, and he goes, dude, thank you, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm in charge now. I won.
Ha!
Zed sinks to the ground and he forgives Richard. He does it because he knows he was confessed. Like he didn't really have a choice. There's nothing he could have done to stop it. And it makes no sense in being mad at Richard for it right now.
Yeah. Especially because we're all going to die. So like, might as well not hold all that shit in, right?
Well, that is when Darken, floating above the ground, you know, Dragon Ball Z-esque, the light around him starts getting darker, and the look of peace and serenity on his face goes away, and he starts looking worried. Yeah, and then it's like, can it get worse? Yeah, no, it can get a lot worse, actually. The sorcerer's sand that was white, it starts to turn black.
Doesn't sound like a good thing.
And Darken starts screaming, and Richard starts smiling.
He's like, yeah!
So obviously, Richard's happy about something, and it's not going very well for Darken. At that moment, the webs around Chase and Zed break, so they're free. Chase, who has been perpetually reaching for his sword, is finally able to reach it. And Zed, he's not frozen. He was just kind of like stuck in this invisible jail cell. But Chase, he takes out two guards like immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaylin disarms Michael, who obviously runs because he ain't going to stick around for a fight.
Yeah.
And Chase, well, he gives chase.
Do you think that's why he's named that? Because he's good at that?
Well, he's got to be.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, no, we know this.
Yeah,
from,
we talked about it.
The beginning of the book. No, well, that's good, though, because that's why. He does live up to his name.
He's good at the chasing. And Zed sees a glimpse of Kaylin as she runs away in the opposite direction, but he can't really focus on that right now because there's other stuff going on.
Yeah, a little busy.
Him and Richard watch as Darken spins in the middle of the room, screaming at Richard like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Not understanding why his whole world is falling apart.
Why'd the golden light go amber? I don't understand. Richard is like, dude, I didn't tell you all of the instructions. I kept some of that stuff back. And Darken is like, wait. But like, confessor.
Yeah, that should have done it. You have to tell me the truth because you're confessed. You've been touched by Kalen's power. And Richard goes, well, am I though? I love the way he says that. Am I though? Were you really paying attention?
I used Wizard's first rule on you, and you fell for it. Suck it. I was never confessed.
Richard tells Darken that he was the one who taught him how to do this, and in doing so, how to love Kalen. Then he asks Zed about where Kalen is, because, she ran off, and says he trusts Rahl will die without him watching. Like, I'm going to go find Kalen. This piece of shit will die on his own, which, weird choice.
It's a weird choice. It's a weird choice.
Now, we know that Kalen was suicidal again.
Yeah.
Just now, and she was going to stab herself, and she took off, so that may be why Richard has decided to just go follow Kalen. But, man, you don't just walk away from the bed. You make sure he's dead.
It just seems a little bit like, I don't know. I don't think that's where my brain would be at this moment. I don't think I'd be like, you taught me how to love Kalen. Oh, by the way, where is she? I'm going to go find her. When, like, the guy is in the process of dying. Now, granted, it is taking so long for this guy to die. The magic is like, let's keep him suspended for like 5-10 minutes. How long do you think he's gonna need to like download all the information we need from him? Maybe 15? We'll give him 15 minutes of floating.
15 minutes. You're just gonna kind of hang there and know that you really fucked up and be in pain and for a little while. But since Richard takes off and Chase is chasing Michael, Zed is left alone with the amazing, levitating Darken.
Oh.
Darken chooses to spend his last moments with the man who killed his father and permanently marred him to ask about Richard's paternity.
Seems like a weird choice.
Also, weird move.
I feel like I would, if I didn't have any questions for him that I wanted answered before I die, I feel like at the very least I would be like spewing venom. Like, I've been thinking for like, 40 years about how much I fucking hate you, and I want you to know that I fucking hate you. You know that weird eyebrow thing I do? That's your fault!
That's you.
But he finds out in the end that Zed is Richard's grandpappy.
He's his grandpappy. I love that word. Yeah. Zed is Richard's mom's dad.
Yeah. And at first, Rahl doesn't believe it. He's like, why would there be a web then to protect him from knowing who his dad is? That's stupid. You're his dad. Like, let's just be you're his dad, Zed.
Right.
And then Zed's like, actually, there's a blue-eyed bastard who raped her. Who could that be? You. You
are the father.
Okay, Maury. Yeah, he did it without realizing that it was Zed's daughter, which, like, again, crazy coincidence that he was just raping random bitches and found Zed's daughter. But then Zed scooped her up and took her to Westland so she could live well away from all that trauma. And that's where she met George and married him, and he already had his son, Michael, who was probably already a little shit.
Oh, got an only child syndrome thing going on, I think.
Yeah, little fucker.
So Zed starts taunting him with the fact that the gifted heir that Darken has been wanting this whole time is going to be the one who ends up killing him.
It's a little bit funny because a little bit earlier in the chapter, he made a joke about how he should name his coming son with Kalen after Richard, and that would be Richard Rahl.
Yeah. Well, surprise! He's yours.
Yes. You already have an heir named Richard Rahl.
Right. And he's got the rage and the capacity for violence of the Rahl line and the love, understanding, and forgiveness of the Zorander line.
Yeah, so he's like nice and balanced.
Yep.
And Darken's like, so I kind of won.
So if you squint at it, really, really squint at it, I get my way because I do have a gifted son.
Yeah, the Rahl line is going to continue. Yeah. All right. Things are kind of still coming up aces for me. And Zed is like, no, you've lost in so many ways. I don't even have time to tell you. And that's when the vortex like opens up in the ground.
Vortex. Called it. I don't know that you could fill a vortex with beer, but I mean, how cool, right?
I would be willing to try. Darken tells Zed that it's not over. He's an agent, and Zed should probably check out the prophecies, because there's some shit in there. And then he's sucked into the hole between worlds and gone forever.
That's what I imagine it sounded like.
And then Zed stood and spread his arms. Again, he's alone in the garden at this point, just like yelling at the sky. Recalling the webs that hid his identity and the web around Richard hiding his. Allowing all of Dahara to know that he is now Master Rahl, which, okay. I feel like that's kind of tucked in there in between things and not really given a whole lot of like, he's the Master Rahl now.
Yeah, you killed the guy, so you're now the guy.
Yeah.
It works that way in every story. You killed the leader. Now you're the leader.
Like, he went from a woods guide to literally like a king.
Right.
He has a ton of power and a ton of money now, and that's not recognized at all. I feel like at this point, it just like kind of glossed over a little bit because we have other shit going on, but like, cool, right?
Well, you did pretty good for yourself there, buddy.
And also, I just wanted to know, everybody in the country is going to know that Richard's daddy was not who he thought it was before Richard knows, because Zed is like, I don't feel like telling him today.
Yeah, we'll tell him another day. Not today. But like, why?
And I'm going to tell everybody else first. Like, maybe wait to recall the web then.
Yeah. Maybe let him know before you turn him loose in a world where everybody else knows.
Yeah.
Before he does.
It's like the classic TV trope where you're like, you can't keep a secret that everybody else knows. It's not how that works. Tell the person. It's going to cause you trouble.
But Richard, unawares, finds Kaylin, and she's sitting with a knife to her chest, also called it, sobbing, and she says she would rather die than be his mistress. She knows that they can't be together. The bad guy's gone now. Hey, so there's some good news, right? No, It doesn't really matter to her. She tells him to give her a kiss and then leave her alone so he doesn't see her kill herself.
And she does have a very, like, I'm used to people following my orders air about her. In this little chunk, she has this, like, give me a kiss and then leave. Like, she totally expects it to happen because she's used to being listened to.
Right. So right here is when Richard says, no. And Kaylin is stunned. He tells her, look, I don't want to kiss you with all that shit on your face, okay? It's fucking scary, and I don't like it. Take it off.
Listen here.
And she's like, you can't refuse me. You're confessed. Hey, remember the magic thing? You're supposed to do what I say. So, like, do what I say.
Like kids playing a game, or like you said LARPers, I think, earlier.
Yeah, like a LARP, like they were just pretending. Like, hey, remember how you're bound to do everything I say? You can't say no.
Hey, the rules of this game are that I'm in charge.
And Richard, he's just like, whatever. And he's cleaning the shit off her face because he's intending on giving her a kiss.
Yeah,
but he's not going to leave her alone.
But I did think it was funny because he goes to wipe off those lightning bolts off her face, and you have to imagine that there's some type of like staining or rash happening. Those were poison berries that she smashed on her face.
Yeah.
So it's not going to look great underneath those. Let's just be real.
I don't think that magical rage is going to take care of the rash you just got yourself.
Right. You're at the very least pretty blotchy.
Oh, yeah, that's going to leave a mark.
But But then he puts his arms around her, and Caitlin's like, how the fuck are you doing this right now? And Richard explains to her that he couldn't be confessed if he was already completely crazy, stupid, devoted to her anyways.
Right. There's nothing left for the magic to, like, take